This is Cast of Wonders, the young adult fiction podcast featuring stories of the fantastic. Welcome. I'm Andrew K. Ho, Assistant Editor at Cast of Wonders. Episode 402 for February 2020. Our story for today is Gwisins of the New Moon's Eve by Russell Hemmel. This story was first published in Type House Literary Journal, September 2016. Russell Hemmel is a French-Italian transplant in Scotland after many years of East Asia. They're passionate about astrophysics, history, anime, and speculative fiction. Recent stories in Aurealis, Flame Tree Press, The Grievous Angel, and others. Find them online at their blog, earthianhivemind.net, and on Twitter at spbianchini. This story is narrated by Nanna Arendodr. Nanna Arendodr is an Icelandic freelance journalist and author of Zombie Iceland. Follow her on Twitter at Nanna Arendodr and website www.nanna-arna.com. And now we've a tale to tell.
Gwisins of the New Moon's Eve by Russell Hemmel. We walk out of the subway. The first train of the day has left us in a Gangnam still asleep. The last partygoers stumble back to their dormitories in the freezing haze of the morning. The pervasive smell of yakiniku reminds me I had no dinner last night. I look around at the early morning with a deep sense of disorientation. This is something Miyumi is familiar with. Not me. Never me. At 5:30 a.m., I'd normally be in my deepest slumber while my roommate thrives and revels. But not today. Today we're together in the twilight hours before dawn, when everything is possible and the world doesn't watch. I look at Miyumi's cheeks, reddened by the cold breeze. It's windy, spring is coming, but nights still remain chilling, and the only way to warm you up is to drink soju, gallons of it. I can't wait. Christy, look at this. She takes my hand and points it at the Samsung Tower's glittering roof. It's imposing as always, even scarier in the crepuscular sky. What? Do you see it? She says, and her green pupils are like cold flames. She scares me sometimes. The reflection of a Gwisins' face. I try to focus, following her stare, but I can't see anything. No, that's good news. Only victims can see Gwisins. It means they're not coming for you, she says. Not yet. What about you then? Why do you see it? Me? I was a victim once. Now I'm part of the family. Only a glint in her eye suggests that she's making fun of me. Her hair dancing on her face, an empty bottle of soju thrown away. Miyumi touches my nose and laughs, and I feel a shiver running down my spine. She's my friend, and yet, at times I have the feeling that I don't know her at all. It was during my first year at Yonsei Uni that I heard for the first time about the infamous Gwisins of Gangnam. Gangnam's ghouls, as everybody calls them. In a hush-hush sort of way, of course, because nobody in Seoul admitted they existed for real. Not the population of 24 million peoples, not the police, and certainly not the area's inhabitants themselves. There were no ghouls in Gangnam, period. You would find the Samsung Research Center headquarters, ubiquitous shopping malls, a couple of streets full of fancy restaurants and nightclubs with the best of the K-pop. But all the rest? Just rumors. Just to attract morbid tourist attention, or at least that's how my classmates and friends would respond. I knew there had to be more to the whispers and vague warnings, but my inquiries always ended up in this rather inglorious way, in irony or laughter or denial. Maybe because I'm not one of them, I repeated to myself. But curiosity gnawed at me. I want to see what haunts in plain sight. So I asked the only person I could talk to, another foreigner like me, but a local too, my best friend Miyumi, a Japanese girl who had lived in Seoul since her childhood. The story itself was simple. Every fourth New Moon's Eve, somebody got killed in the fancy neighborhood of Gangnam. At least they were presumed dead, since they disappeared altogether from the bustling face of the city without leaving a trace. This is what Miyumi told me, between 2 bottles of soju during a drunken night out. Her tone was nonchalant, describing how the souls of the murdered come back as Gwisins to where they've been killed, haunting the living and trying to drag them down. For eating their flesh, some people say. For company, Miyumi explained. They're so lonely. Sad souls searching for comfort. I was silent as I was considering it. Would you like to see one? Miyumi's voice was sweet, insidious. Somehow the answer was inevitable. Yeah. And that's how I found myself with her now, in this scary New Moon's Eve, in a freezing, almost deserted Gangnam Street, waiting for a Gwisin to grab me and take me away if I'm not careful. Miyumi insisted we should head back, saying that nothing interesting was going to happen to us. The Gwisins weren't after us. No Gwisins, no fun. I was disappointed to leave without seeing one, but I never had the strength to say no to her. And when she came tired and cold and eerily white to sleep in my bed that morning, I didn't send her away. But I soon found out I had mistaken her intentions. Don't worry, Christy. I'm not searching for anything impure. You're not? No, I only want to sleep by your side, have company, keep warm. Oh. I was surprised, but maybe also relieved. I took her close to me and we fell asleep. Since that night, Miyumi regularly visited me in bed. When she was going out and came back in the first hours of the morning, white, cold, and silent, she would slip in, putting her head on my shoulder and falling asleep immediately. In the morning, I would never find her, and only the faint scent of soju remained around me to remind me I hadn't dreamt it. It's New Moon's Eve again, and it's Gwijin night again. I'm ready. It's not dusk yet, but I'm already in Gangnam, fluttering around like a crazed butterfly. If I want to see something, I'd better be there before it becomes too dark. This is what I told myself in the morning, trying to play down my excitement. Maybe this time a Gwijin would show up, and I'd see its face. Miyumi has come with me. She doesn't want to leave me alone in the night. It's not safe for you, Christy Yang, if you head to Gangnam all by yourself, she shrugs. I laugh. Let's get some soju, she says. We go to a small restaurant with a wooden panels and iron braziers at the entrance, not far away from where we dined last time. There's only a few people sitting inside, I guess, because it's still early. And yet, tonight I feel there's something different in the air. There's an eerie calm in what I expected to be a lively tavern. Everybody's drinking in silence, raising glasses and cups in slow motion. Everybody but one. A young man that's glancing around like a scared rabbit. Miyumi's eyes look like cat irises, green and round and wide open, and there's a slight smile on her face. You see that one? Her regard stops on the frightened youth that eats alone in the corner, the one that I've already noticed. What about him? He's gonna be dead soon, she says. How do you know? You'll see. She drinks her soju. It occurs to me that she never eats, only drinks bottle after bottle, and she never gets drunk either. Are you going to kill him? I'm not sure why I've asked this question. This is not something you're supposed to ask a friend, is it? But my words have their own way out of the mouth that's meant to control them. They scorch my lips and hang suspended in the air like splinters of dark light. Miyumi raises her hands as if she could touch and feel their quality, caressing their roughness. No, not this one, she says. I would if I had to, yes, to protect you. Her mouth curls in an open smile and shows something I'd conveniently chosen to ignore until now. Feline-like white fangs gleaming and sharp. But that won't be necessary, she says. Why have you taken me here? Don't you know? No. The moment I say it, I confusedly realize the reason. This night, I'm seeing a city I didn't know, with a person I keep discovering a bit more each day. I'm not scared, though. I'm simply beyond fear. You told me you wanted to see Gwisins in action. This part of Gangnam, this is their playground. Wait, these people? Yes. I look outside the window that looks out on the alley. There's nobody around, even though by now it would be teeming with life. There are streetlights all around, but their red glimpses are of a ghostly quality, flickering like candles in the wind. A green mist seeps into the restaurant from the semi-closed doors and through the small fissures of the wooden walls, while the temperature drops by many degrees. I shudder and brace for what's going to happen. The young guy snaps on his feet in a sudden realization that electrifies his body even before reaching his mind. Too late for him. It's already been too late. It was too late when he arrived in this place, in this city, in this new moon's eve. They get up and walk toward him, slowly and inexorably. His eyes search mine, while he opens up his mouth to scream with a voice that comes out no longer. I taste his terror like sour kimchi, with the same appetite and much of the same mixed, uncertain pleasure. Miyumi takes my hand. You're safe. They won't come for you tonight. I know. Why should they? When they're going to be sated soon. Gwisins have surrounded their prey, carnivore ants on a wriggling prey, and only the unnatural white light in their eyes gives away their ghastly nature. I can see neither table now, nor the meal of blood and flesh they're enjoying. Suddenly awake from their slumber, hands and arms that swivel around like ravens' wings, feasting, relishing. Or so I imagine, because when they finally disband and get back to their seats, there's nothing left. No man, no blood, not the shreds of flesh I've pictured in my head. There's a void, like a white hole in the fabric of the universe, or a magic mirror that reflects an imaginary space. Is this the way you do it? No, she smiles. I like being alone in my feeding. Killing. Killing. Since when? Since I met you. It's dawn when we get out of the restaurant, which has reclaimed its space in the Gangnam I used to know, one I will never look at with the same eyes again. Visitors come and go, ghouls of a different quality, unaware of what happened here in a dimension that escaped their eyes. They laugh, but their voices reach me like laments from the underworld. We take the subway and head back home without saying a word, but holding hands, like little children at their first walk in the adults' precinct. At the entrance of our dormitory, I stop and look up at the crown of buildings that encircles us in a cuddling embrace, and in a moment, I see the bloated face of the restaurant victim appearing everywhere. Now I can see his spirited eyes chasing me from window glass. Each window a face. I see his reflection on the metallic doors. He's in my house, too, on the TV screen switched off, on the computer's aluminum cover, in the mirror on the shelf, even in the yolk of my eggs. He grimaces up at me from the frying pan. He'll come for me, slowly and inexorably, in one of the 100 new moon's eves after this one, not to punish me for having let him die, but to have somebody to keep him company. One night, yes, but not yet. Not now, not until Miyumi is with me, because she needs me as her companion. A living being to feel alive again, a warm creature to curl up against in the cold night. I take her in my arms, and we lie down under the blankets, her face on my shoulder, my mouth on her forehead, and rivers of soju to keep us warm in our warped universe.
Russell tells us this tale was originally written as a manga. The graphic part was later discarded with only the words kept to create this story. Russell would one day like to revisit this tale in its original manga form. As for me, I'd like to talk about how Russell's story blends a strong platonic relationship with otherworldly horror. Would you keep a friendship with one who has fallen to the other side? At the story's beginning, Christy can't see the Gwisin. Miyumi says this is a good sign. Only those who will become victims of Gwisin can see them. It means they're not coming for you, Miyumi says. Yet. However, Christy's relationship with Miyumi results in her gaining the ability to see Gwisin. After watching the young man at the restaurant get devoured, Christy knows she's been inducted into the world of future victims. One day they will come for her, not out of rage, but loneliness. This loneliness is the very reason why Miyumi keeps coming back to Christy. For she needs me as her companion, Christy explains. A living being to feel alive again, a warm creature to curl against in the cold night. Just as Christy's bond with Miyumi dooms her to one day become a Gwishin, Christy makes Miyumi more human. Christy protects Miyumi from being forgotten and abandoned. Think of the real-life friendships you have. In what way do your closest friends change you? In what ways do you affect your friends? Join us again next week for Oak Knowers, a full cast story we've had in the works for a while now. Seriously, tune in for this one. It's going to be epic. And please, vote for your favorite story of 2019. You can find the form on our website. We love bringing you the best audio fiction week after week, but we can't do it without your support. Our Patreon has achieved the level for the industry standard rate of 8 cents per word, and we'd love to be able to pay our narrators more than token payments and our associate editors anything at all. Please consider supporting us with a monthly donation through either PayPal or Patreon. You can also review us on Apple Podcasts, request us on Spotify, and consider the stories we publish for award consideration. There are lots of ways you can help. Join the discussion on our Patreon Discord server, the EA Forum, forum.escapeartist.net, or visit on Twitter, @CastOfWonders. Come say hello. Cast of Wonders is a production of Escape Artists Incorporated and is brought to you by Editor, Catherine Inskip, and Assistant Editors, Andrew K. Ho and Carissa Sluss. Associate Editors, Amy Brennan, Alicia Caparasso, William Height Minor, Umaira Hussein, Sean Proctor, Ray O, Susie Rodriguez, and Emma Smales. Audio Producer, Jeremy Carter. Our art director is Alexis Goebel, and our community manager is Danny Daly. Our episodes are released under the Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 4.0 International License. That means you can download or listen to the episode on any device you like, but you can't change it or sell it. Our theme music, Appeal to Heavens, is by Alexei Nov and available from Promo DJ or his Facebook page. Thank you for listening.